On today's video, I'll be sharing with you guys a new update on the Canada Visitors Visa. So you can come into Canada as a visitor, then switch your visa into a work permit and eventually get a permanent residence after 1 year. This pathway is very simple and direct. Come into Canada with a visitor's visa and convert it into a work permit. The good thing about this is that while you're in Canada, it's very easy for you to get a job physically inside of Canada. Here are some highlights about this pathway. You come into Canada as a visitor. Unfortunately, it's only those people who are already in Canada as a visitor that can take advantage of this pathway. So there is no age limit. You are granted 2 years work permit. Your spouse can apply for open work permit. You can bring your family in and you don't have to leave Canada to apply for the work permit. Upon your arrival as a visitor in Canada, the first thing to do is to start looking for what they call the LMIA jobs. I'll be mentioning the government approved website on my screen right now, and as well as my description box where you can find the LMIA job. The good thing about this is that you are going to be physically present in Canada to look for a job. You can walk into offices with your resume. You just request to meet the manager. You introduce yourself, and ask them if there is any role for you. And one fact I know about employer, they prefer to see you in person than online. If you are physically present in Canada, I would advise that anytime that you're looking for a job, even if you apply online, you can just walk into the company and try to apply in person, because to be honest, almost all the jobs I got in Canada, I went to the office myself. They saw me in person. The only job that I applied online and got was a referral from another employee of that company. So yes, being in Canada and looking for a job makes a complete sense, because definitely you're going to get it. And if you go to the government approved website for LMIA jobs, you see thousands of jobs that are listed. So yes, I'm going to tell you how you can also apply online and get hired. You do not need a job before you can come into Canada, so all you need is a visitor's visa. Like I mentioned earlier, once your visitor's visa has been switched to work permit, your spouse or your partner is eligible for an open work permit, meaning that he or she can work with any employer of their choice while you have a closed work permit, meaning that the period of the 2 years that you have work permit, you are only supposed to work with just one employer, and you're not supposed to leave the province that you are staying. That's just the only criteria to this type of work permit. 1 year into your work, you can actually then apply for a permanent residence, because by then you might have gathered a Canadian working experience and also gathered points that would make you eligible to apply for permanent residence in Canada. As you can see, all you have to do is to work with one employer for 2 years, and after that you can apply for permanent residence and you can switch job. This is very easy and straightforward. Let's talk about the benefits of living in Canada. One of the important benefits to me is that Canada is very diverse and welcoming, and there is no racism. Since I have been in Canada, I've never experienced anything like racism here. If you merit it, they are going to give it to you. You will get it. Anything that you merit, any job position that you merit, educational position that you merit, it will be handed to you on merit. So there is no racism here. Everybody is welcoming, and Canada is very safe. Canada gives citizenship to children that are born in Canada, regardless if you are a student or if you're on work visa. As long as your child is born in Canada, it doesn't matter if you're a Canadian or you are African, you are black, whatever race you are, as long as your child is born in Canada, automatically that child is Canadian. The healthcare in Canada is top notch. Regardless of your background, regardless of your ethnicity, they do not care. As long as you are living legally in Canada, oh my God, they take good care of you. When I gave birth to my daughter in 2020, I had the most amazing care. They set up a therapist for me because of postpartum depression. I had a support worker coming to my home to check how baby and I were doing. I had the most amazing care. When it comes to health care, Canada would take care of you. Ever since my daughter was born, we've not paid any alarming amount. All we do is just pay monthly health insurance, which is just stipend comparing to the kind of care that she has. She has an eye doctor, she has a pediatrician, she has, she has every care that she needs in Canada, and it's all for free. Also, Canada is creating a very easy pathway for immigrants to come into Canada and settle in, become permanent residents, and eventually become a Canadian citizen. All these reasons I just mentioned is the reason why you should come into Canada and switch your visitor's visa to a work permit, because just after 1 year of gaining your Canadian experience and points while working, you're going to become a permanent resident in Canada for sure. This is how you can get shortlisted for a job and eventually get an interview. First thing to do is to look for a job that fits your experience and your skills. To be very honest with you guys, you cannot use one resume to apply for every job. So you constantly have to edit your resume, because the skills and responsibilities and the description needed by employer might not be everything that you put in your resume. For instance, if you see a job that is being posted online, read through the responsibility, read through the description, and add what they are looking for. Edit your resume, add the specific skills and description to your resume. By doing that, if the machine, because a lot of recruiters and companies, they use machines to actually look for specific keywords. So if that keywords that an employer is looking for is not in your resume, it will be passed. It's very important that you do not leave your CV generic and apply for a million jobs, rather than applying for a million jobs and not getting any success. Task yourself each day to apply for just 4 to 5 jobs and edit your resume to the job description, responsibility, and skills. If you're putting one resume to a million jobs, you're not going to make success. Make sure, don't forget this, make sure that you always filter the job to what suits you, what you know that you can do, then you can apply. I am assuring you that if you do this, if you take out time to do this every day, definitely you would get a very good result. I'm assuring you. Another important tips that you should know about applying for a job in Canada: it is not enough for you to just put out your CV. Also, you need to take an extra step. You can call the recruiter and oh, I applied for a job. I just wanted to find out how the company is moving forward with it. I am available. If you want me to come in, I can come in for a short interview. By doing that, you're going to, put yourself in the recruiter's mind. Even if the position is filled, they are going to let you know if they have something else that you can do. So it's always advisable for you to call and check once you applied for a job somewhere. It is 99.9% effective each time, and yes, it has worked for me. I'm going to be sharing with you guys how to get an LMIA job in Canada. You can put on your Google LMIA approved jobs in Canada, but I just typed LMIA Canada. So I've opened it already. This is the official government website. You can find jobs here. So currently there is 8,562 jobs. So if you position yourself, I'm saying it again and again, you cannot use one resume to apply for 1,000 jobs. You need to make sure that you see the requirement of the job, edit your resume first before you apply for it, because you cannot apply for all. So on this page now, you've seen the jobs available. Let's just say I want to go for this farm worker, right? Click on it. It will take you here. You can see it is verified, which means it is LMIA approved. I don't want anybody telling me, how can I apply? Can you apply for me? When you click on this, make sure that if you're doing a resume to submit, it will fit to that you've been working in a farm For this now, if you want to apply for this kind of a job, when you are doing your CV or resume, you're supposed to tailor everything to farm. You cannot say you've worked in the hospital, you've worked as a cleaner, you've worked as this. No, you've worked as a farmer in this company, the next company is still farming, but maybe different department is in farming. You understand? You cannot bring in a different job requirement for a farm work. So your resume should just include everything about farm work. If you click down here, you will see how much they pay, $16 per hour, and you can work up to 30 to 40 hours per week, which is full-time. And you can see they have 12 vacancies for this particular job. When you scroll down, you will see show how to apply. You click on this, right, and all you need to do is to email this person. Just email this person by email. By mail, you can mail your resume and everything. In person, which I recommend a lot, walk in by person to this address and just talk to the manager. You are willing to work, and you can work for like 3 years. They will accept you. This is very, very easy. On my last video, people were saying they will not answer you, don't email them. Make sure that you know when the offer is still valid. You understand, you need to check the date. Everything is here. You guys take your time. There's no need to rush. When you want something, you won't take your time, right? And you can see by province and territories. So there are a lot of jobs. There are a lot of jobs. Another tip I want to tell you guys, if they notice that you are leaving a job or you've worked like 4 jobs in 1 year, they are not going to take you, because they will see that you are jumping jobs. But if they see you've been consistent with one company like 5 years, 4 years, they'll pick someone like that. But if you're jumping jobs on your resume, they are going to pass you by. I'll also leave a link to how you can prepare yourself for an interview. If you enjoyed this video, please do not forget to give it a thumbs up, and please do not forget to subscribe. See you guys on my next video. Thank you.